And welcome back to Holistic Healthline, your direct line to great health. And we are so excited to have back as a guest Dr. Ross Pelton. He can't say enough great things about him. He always brings us so much information. He is a health expert and master educator and a pharmacist, clinical nutritionist, health scientific advisor for Essential Formulas. Dr. Pelton was named as one of the top 50 most influential pharmacists in the United States by the American Druggist magazine for his work in natural medicine. And he has authored numerous books and teaches continuing education programs for healthcare professionals to utilize and integrate natural medicine into their practices. And Dr. Pelton, thank you so much for coming back and taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us and help us stay healthy and well.
Well, hi there, Jane. It's always a pleasure to be with you and your Holistic Healthline team, and you are health warriors out there. I appreciate all you've been doing for years, so nice to be with you and your audience.
Thank you so much. And earlier in the season, the beginning of the flu season, we had told people that there was studies out showing that taking a probiotic, a good probiotic, prior to getting a flu vaccine would help benefit that vaccine to work more efficiently. And the, helping our immune systems to work better. But the problem is people come down to, well, what is a good probiotic? Because there's like a zillion of them out there.
You are absolutely right. It's a category in the natural products arena that has just exploded in popularity. So you're right. There's a lot of choices out there, and I think a lot of people are confused. Some companies are saying mine has 30 billion, mine has 50 billion, mine has 100 billion, and so there's some confusion about more is better, which is really not the case. So you're right. It's a conundrum for a lot of people. And also, I heard you say earlier that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I like to change that a little bit and say an ounce of prevention is worth a ton of cure.
I agree.
Prevention is so much more effective and in the long run the way to go rather than waiting until you get sick. So I really encourage people to be proactive.
Good morning, Ross. It's Peter Morrell.
Hey, Peter. Nice to hear your voice, too.
You as well, sir. You've been involved with Dr. Ohhira's for many years now. And again, we're talking to so many probiotics out there. We've always been telling our listeners Dr. Ohhira's is different and, yes, actually better than the rest of them for a number of reasons. You've been intimately involved with this company for a long time. Tell us why, or tell the listeners why.
I'd be happy to, Peter. It's really quite an amazing story. Dr. Ohhira's probiotics are really different than every other probiotic in the world because they are made differently. Dr. Ohhira developed a multi-year fermentation process for the production of his line of probiotics. And so this multi-year fermentation process allows the bacteria time to digest and ferment the fiber-rich foods that the bacteria are supplied with in large fermentation vats in a sterile production warehouse. And during the years that the bacteria get access to these fiber-rich foods, they convert the fibers in the foods to secondary metabolites. We call them postbiotic metabolites. And about a year ago, I wrote an article called Postbiotic Metabolites, the New Frontier in Microbiome Science. And that talk of mine that I developed gathered a lot of attention. It got me invited to speak at medical conferences and health conferences and microbiome conferences all around the United States and even internationally. Last year I spoke in Canada and Russia and Lithuania and Japan. So there's a high level of interest in this topic, and we're finding out that the whole focus in microbiome science and probiotic is shifting away from actually the bacteria and starting to realize that it's the compounds that the bacteria produce that are really master health regulating compounds for the entire human body. And Dr. Ohhira's is the only probiotic in the world that's produced in this multi-year fermentation process that allows the bacteria time to produce multitudes of these postbiotic metabolites. We now know that Dr. Ohhira's contains not just live probiotic bacteria and some of the prebiotic food supply, but they contain over 500 of these postbiotic metabolites that really are the key health regulators in the human body. So that's the Dr. Ohhira's story. We call it the Dr. Ohhira difference, and it's really what differentiates Dr. Ohhira's from all the other competitors in the marketplace.
So these postbiotic metabolites are specialized nutrients. You wouldn't necessarily call them vitamins, but it's a specialized nutrient.
They have a wide range of different types of activity. Some of them are anti-inflammatory. Some of them are called antimicrobial peptides. They directly kill pathogens when they contact them. Some of them rebalance the acid-base level in the GI tract. When people have dysbiosis, which is this term that talks about intestinal-related problems like gas and bloating and constipation and diarrhea and inflammation and pain, people with those types of gastrointestinal problems, the acid-base level is anywhere from 10 to 100 times too alkaline. You need to bring it back down to a slightly acidic level, which is the optimum acid-base level that promotes the growth of your good bacteria, suppresses the growth of pathogens. And there are many postbiotic metabolites that are slightly acidic. There's fulvic acids and nucleic acids and short-chain fatty acids and organic acids. And so these are the classes of postbiotic metabolites that regulate your immune system by keeping this optimal, slightly acidic pH that suppresses the growth of pathogens. And other postbiotic metabolites reestablish your gut-brain communication, and some of them are strongly promoting the immune system. So there's just a wide range of different types of these postbiotic metabolites that play different roles in supporting your health. And the only way you can get these compounds is if you feed your probiotic bacteria fiber-rich foods. Fiber is the food for your probiotic bacteria, and I think there are millions and millions of people taking probiotics that do not eat a fiber-rich diet, so they're not getting maximum benefit from their probiotic bacteria because they're not feeding their bacteria well.
Now, as a pharmacist, you well know that antibiotics, which are starting to be doled out like crazy with cold and flu season and bronchitis and all sorts of stuff that's going around right now, pneumonia, antibiotics are known to deplete these good bacteria in the digestive tract. But there are also a lot of other medications and other things that people do that can inhibit, again, that balance in the digestive tract.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jane. In fact, a number of years ago, I wrote a book. Actually, I've written 2 books on the topic of drug-induced nutrient depletions. So I teach physicians and pharmacists and other healthcare professionals, as well as the general public, what nutrients are being depleted by the drugs that people take. And many times, people start to get symptoms from these nutrient depletions that are caused by the drug they're taking, and then they go to the doctor and they get another drug when all they really need to know is what appropriate nutrients to take. And now I've created a new class of drugs. They're called microbiome disrupting drugs. So I'm teaching people beyond antibiotics, there's a whole range of different types of drugs that will disrupt your microbiome, things like the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs and some of the psychotherapy drugs and some of the heart-related drugs. There's just a wide range of them, so it's not just the antibiotics that are causing this problem, and many lifestyle factors also, Jane. Junk food, sugar, and processed foods, and cheap damaged fats like the hydrogenated fats and all these things disrupt the microbiome or feed yeasts like Candida, which also are a terrible disruption to your microbiome. So people need to be proactive these days to create and maintain a healthy microbiome. That's a message I think that you folks all are promoting to your audience, and I certainly talk about it a lot.
And Dr. Ohhira's is, we believe, and I think the message from you is that the Dr. Ohhira's probiotics is the unique and best probiotic to help restore that balance.
You're right. And
Dr. Pelton, we got to take
explain that. When people take
Dr. Pelton?
a regular probiotic that just has
Dr. Pelton?
probiotic bacteria in a capsule, those bacteria have to survive transit through the harsh acid environment in the stomach. And then when they arrive in the stomach, they have to seek and find fiber-rich foods and start the process of converting those fibers into the postbiotic metabolite. That all takes time. If you take Dr. Ohhira's, you directly deliver these postbiotic metabolites, and they immediately start to transform the microbiome ecosystem back into a much healthier environment.
Dr. Pelton, we get people who say, is Dr. Ohhira's all natural? Does it have dairy in it? Does it, you have to refrigerate it? Can you answer some of those questions?
Sure, you bet. Well, Dr. Ohhira's is one of the most user-friendly products on the market. It's produced under natural temperatures in a clean room, sterile manufacturing environment, so the bacteria learn to thrive and survive at room temperature throughout their multi-year fermentation process. So they don't need to be refrigerated, and it's a vegan-type product, so vegetarians and vegans can take it with confidence, and it's in a patented capsule which stays hard in the harsh environment in the stomach. Then it preferentially releases the contents in the more alkaline pH environment in the small intestines. So it's stable to foods and acids. You can take it on an empty stomach or a full stomach. You can take it any time of the day. You can travel with it in your briefcase and take it on airplanes with you because it doesn't need to be refrigerated. It can go anywhere, anytime with you. It's just take Dr. Ohhira's.
And not only is Dr. Ohhira's available in the United States, but it's available worldwide. It's in Hong Kong, it's in Europe and North America, Russia, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. I hope it's in China because it sounds like they're having some issues.
Actually, they're starting to see if they can open up China right now. The scientists at the company in Japan where Dr. Ohhira's is produced is called Biobank is the name of the company, and they were recently in China talking with people there to see if they can open up China.
Oh, that would be great because it seems like a lot of these viruses and things originate from China and then get spread around to everybody else. And if we could keep them a little bit healthier, I think it would be great.
Yep, you're right.
Is there any reason why people shouldn't take the Dr. Ohhira's probiotic?
No, I recommend that children who are old enough to swallow that small capsule can start taking Dr. Ohhira's for their ability to maintain a healthy gastrointestinal tract, a healthy microbiome, a healthy immune system. And I also, if a woman gives birth to an infant by a C-section delivery, that infant does not travel down the mother's vaginal canal and get exposed to her vaginal microbiome, which is so important to seed the infant's microbiome and get a healthy microbiome started in a new infant. If it's a C-section delivery, I advocate that the parents take Dr. Ohhira's capsule, bite the end of it off, squeeze the contents onto their fingertip, and swish that finger around the inside of their mouth of the infant when the infant is 1 day old, to start to get those good bacteria into the infant's digestive system so they can start to build a healthy immune system. Because in the first 6 months of life, probiotics' primary job is to train the immune system. And when kids don't get that exposure to their mother's vaginal microbiome, or if a woman doesn't breastfeed an infant, then that is a challenge to the child's immune system for the rest of their life. So probiotics from day one are really important, especially when it's a C-section delivery. There's so many kids that get challenged for life because they don't get that initial microbiome imprint.
And it would be great for mothers-to-be to take the Dr. Ohhira's probiotic through the pregnancy as well. I think that, again, so many people are on so many different drugs, so many prescription medications, taking so many antibiotics, that it can be something you can take daily for the rest of your life.
You're absolutely right. Another thing a lot of people don't realize, that everybody talks about the importance of having a colonoscopy regularly. When you do the preparation process for a colonoscopy, you flush out your whole microbiome and upset things. And so there's studies that show that people that take probiotics either before or even directly after a colonoscopy, they have far fewer complications because they're taking steps to reestablish their microbiome. And so that's just another thing that affects millions of people every year.
And we understand that there's the Essential Formulas is putting Dr. Ohhira's into television.
That is true. We are launching our first TV ad, so hopefully millions of people will be seeing an ad for Dr. Ohhira's probiotics on television. And also, this year is the 20th anniversary of Essential Formulas, which is the company that has the sole rights to import and distribute Dr. Ohhira's in the United States and Canada and Mexico. So we're doing some big celebrations for our 20th year anniversary to celebrate my company, Essential Formulas, and the importance of Dr. Ohhira's probiotics nationwide.
And if people want to get more information, they can go to essentialformulas.com. You can also order product there. You can order online. You can go to your local health food stores. And you can also follow Essential Formulas on Facebook to find out the latest information about Dr. Ohhira's probiotics, because they're always coming out with all sorts of research and great information.
You bet. That essentialformulas.com is along with Facebook. You can go to their website, essentialformulas.com.
Ross, the average person in general good health, how much should they take?
2 capsules a day is the recommended dose, and that's adequate for adults. And if it's a young child, I would say just 1 capsule a day. If the people with really severe gastrointestinal problems like colitis and Crohn's disease and irritable bowel, then I advocate that those people take higher doses, but the maintenance dose is 2 capsules once a day.
And we've also found with patients who are going through chemotherapy or radiation, it's one of the best to help, stabilize their digestive tract, but particularly after having these types of treatments to rebalance them out.
You are absolutely right. I've worked with a lot of cancer patients, and chemotherapy and radiation destroy the microbiome. And if people want to return to good health after a cancer diagnosis and cancer treatment, reestablishing a healthy gastrointestinal tract and a healthy microbiome is one of those critical things they have to do. So Dr. Ohhira's is really very, very important after chemotherapy and radiation. You hit on a good point there.
And again, would you suggest for them to take a higher dose? Because we know the chemo particularly is so just kind of wipes out the good bacteria in the digestive tract.
Yes, after chemo, I would recommend a higher dose of Dr. Ohhira's, and also glutamine can really accelerate healing of the gastrointestinal tract. So I would recommend that along with Dr. Ohhira's to accelerate the healing of the GI tract.
Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us today and helping to keep us all healthy and well.
Well, I appreciate all that you folks do about doing the same, keeping people healthy and well out there. So thanks very much for the time to share some information with you today.
And please congratulate everybody at Essential Formulas on 20 years of great work.
You bet, Peter. Thanks much to both of you. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.